In mid-March, when the absolute chaos of COVID hit, I was on many calls with other franchisees and there was panic. We were really trying to figure out, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna respond to this? There were a couple of key moments that really stood out for me at that time. One was Rick Gallegos. He made the statement that really we need to think of our business like a startup, treat ourselves like a startup, talk to our teams like we're a startup company. And that means we need to talk about burn rate and cash flow and all those things that startups talk about. At that moment, I thought, actually, that is not just brilliant, that's exciting. Because startups have the opportunity to be who they want to be. They define their future. And there's an old saying, in the midst of chaos lies opportunity. And then I was talking with Alan Walker, and he made the statement that was equally profound, that most of us have been just trying to do Carnegie better, instead of making a better Carnegie. So how do we do that? I thought, wow, if we can make a better Carnegie, someday we get to look back on this horrible time as a pivotal moment in our development. In fact, I had a friend say that, right now they're writing case studies. They are writing white papers about what's happening right now. And they're gonna write white papers about what happens 2 years from now to the companies that got through this. And my thought was, I want to write my white paper. We need to decide who we want to be. So then we got the team together and I put on my brave face and I put up a slide. The first slide said, Dale Carnegie, Texas, a startup. And I said to the team, here we are, we're in the midst of chaos, but within chaos lies opportunity. We are going to treat ourselves like a startup and we are going to not just try to get through this, but we're going to grow through this. We're not going to go through this, we're going to grow through this. And then I showed them the picture of us celebrating at the regional convention in Austin, 2019, December. And I said, you know what? This is still us. This is who we are. We are winners. We've overcome hurricanes. We've overcome recessions. We've had super important members of our team get sick and not able to return. We've had heartbreak, but we've pulled together every single time and we've found a way to grow. So, put up a whiteboard, we started brainstorming. Of course, this was on Zoom, the whiteboard on Zoom, and we started brainstorming. And I remember saying on more than one occasion, I don't know what the answer is. In fact, it's humbling for somebody who's been in the business for more than 30 years to literally say, I have no idea what to do right now. But as a team, we really got deep. We really discussed, who are we really? And who do we want to be? And then in this moment, we discovered that we are about transformation. In fact, we know the transformation formula. And we can do that anywhere. We can do that online. We could do that in person. We do it in the hallways. We do it over coffee. We know how to transform people's lives, hearts, minds, and futures. So let's keep doing it. So that led us to digital. And we thought, can we really create a Dale Carnegie course experience? The magic that happens there. Is it really possible to do that online? And we struggled with it. And then, you know what? We came to the conclusion. We're not about just the Dale Carnegie course. We're about transforming. So can we transform online? Heck yes, we can. So what we decided to do is we wholeheartedly embraced digital. We got all of our trainers certified. We've got several digital producers, and we dug in and we went after it. So one of the things that we did as a team is every week at our Monday morning motivation meetings, we would start off with good news. Now that's not new, we'd been doing that, but I wanted to make sure that we specifically talked about transformations that we were seeing in our digital programs. Because we thrive on that. That's what us as trainers, this is our lifeblood. So we really needed to have the time to think about, are we seeing transformation? Is it still happening for us, even though it's in a digital setting? And we have amazing stories. One of my personal favorites is when Shelby, the first time she was doing the drills, she said one of the guys was really getting into it and his wife ran into the room while he's doing the session and says, "What's wrong, honey? What's wrong?" And he says, "No, honey, it's for class. It's okay. It's okay." And then another guy was doing Tarzan with his son in the room. So is it different? Yes, it's different, but it's still amazing. And it's not just amazing because it's digital, it's amazing because we are amazing. We have the ability to connect with people in a way that encourages them to be who they can be, like nobody in the industry. Another key strategy adjustment we made is we recognized that some people right now are still gonna buy. You know, there are some companies that are strongly impacted by COVID, and there's others that are ironically thriving in this environment. And by the way, I wanted to be one of those companies that thrived. So what did we do? We identified who's still buying. There are companies like Dell, these technology companies, construction companies are still buying. There were several of our key clients that are actually doing really well. So we invested our time in going and talking to them. And although sometimes there was some initial resistance to transforming over to digital, to moving the room, so to speak, eventually they did it. And what happened is we saw amazing transformation and the results have been spectacular. Ironically, here we are, December, and we are at the end of our first quarter, and I have to say, I am so proud that we are up. September through November, we're up, not by a little bit, but probably we're gonna land about 40 to 50% improvement over our best year ever. So it worked. Now, what we're benefiting from now are things we decided to do back in March, April, and May. So we're working on things now that we're hoping we're gonna see benefit in March, April, and May next year. And you know what? If it doesn't work, we'll do something else. Because as a team, we're resilient and we can do that. As an organization, look, Dale Carnegie, we've been here over 100 years. This isn't even our first pandemic. We've been through this. We've been through world wars. We can do this too. So we pivoted, we saw results, and now our challenge is to keep moving forward. So ultimately, what it comes down to, in my mind, are three things. And those three things are, number one, we need to be proud of who we are and our history, but not shackled by our history. And two, we need to embrace the fact that we create transformation like nobody in the industry. We transform people's lives and careers in profound, meaningful ways. And third, change. If you're waiting for things to change, that's gonna hurt. Instead of waiting for things to change, change. If we do those three things, we will, I believe, in December 2022, let's give us a little time, we're gonna be able to say, we're not just doing Dale Carnegie better. We made a better Dale Carnegie. Thank you.